Welcome to the Mama Needs a Moment podcast, and a special welcome to our Her Plus expert providers that are joining us for today's roundtable conversation on what is really happening to mom's skin. We're going to be talking about things such as sleep, stress, hormones, all the different things that affect skin throughout our lives. Many moms notice changes like melasma, breakouts, dryness, or sensitivity during different stages of motherhood. In our next several episodes, we're exploring how factors like hormones, stress, sleep deprivation, and perimenopause can affect our skin and which treatments and routines actually make a difference. Before we begin, we'll have each of our experts briefly introduce themselves and share their area of focus. And a quick reminder that our podcast episodes are also available in video format on our YouTube channel.
Good morning. Good afternoon. I'm Abby DeVries. I'm a family medicine physician and a certified menopause practitioner here in Durham. I have a practice that's specifically devoted to women in midlife and so deal with lots of issues, including a lot of skin and hair issues as well. So nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
I'm Stephanie Opper. I am a licensed esthetician and the owner of a skin spa, Sensational Aesthetics in Wake Forest. I've been practicing for 10 years. I work with moms, women, older women, men and teens as well. And I see this all of the time. So I'm glad to be here.
I'm Kate Lehman. I'm a nurse practitioner and certified nurse midwife. And I have been working in the community for about 15 years, attending births and taking care of moms. Recently, I opened up my own practice to focus on some of the areas that I felt were most overlooked in women's health care: early pregnancy, the first postpartum year, and perimenopause. They all have a lot of hormonal changes and a lot of big lifestyle changes. So that has become my area of focus.
Farzaneh Rezai. I am a scientist. I'm a microbial formulation scientist, mom to two teenagers. Post-graduation, once I received my PhD, for about 2 decades, I have worked in various different industry where the focus has been the microbiome of whatever that environment was, whether it's soil microbiome, animal gut microbiome. And a few years ago, I started my own startup, which now I'm focusing on, in general, human microbiome. And my interest is skin microbiome. And learning from a skin microbiome, my background basically and my expertise is how to develop the biological product that actually helps that microbiome. Now, I have products that developed and launched last year. They are living probiotic-based skincare that focus on your microbiome. Really great to be here. Thanks.
Thank you for having me. I'm impressed with this amazing group of women who's so smart. I have been a board certified dermatologist for about almost 20 years now. I used to work in academic medicine initially and opened up my own practice here in Cary about almost 4 years ago now, and just wanted to offer more of a boutique style approach, more customized to the patient, something where we could really offer what we wanted to our patients. And we see a wide range from little kids to older adults, skin cancers to cosmetics, and just really enjoy the work. And I love this group because one of the things that kind of I'm very passionate about is being that village for women. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much for having me here. So my name is Tiffany Webb. I am a licensed esthetician of 15 years now. And so in my journey in this industry, I have worked with, all different types of skin types, both men and women. I currently teach part-time at the Aveda Institute. And then I also have my own skincare studio, Stillness and Skin. And where there I focus mainly with working with women who are aging and in that kind of hormonal flux of perimenopause, menopausal skincare. But things that happen hormonally when you're pregnant that can also kind of throw a little bit of a kink in our typical skincare routines. So I'm just, again, happy to be here, super excited to chat with all these amazing women.
I am so excited to dive into this topic. I'm going to be taking notes because this is very pertinent to my life right now. So let's go ahead and dive in. We've touched a bit on the skin microbiome, and I would love to go into a bit of an explanation of what we're talking about when we say skin microbiome. What the heck do you mean? And how does it change over time?
Yeah, my goodness, we can have like 6 hours on that, but hopefully I can, like walk you through some of those. And please, anybody else jump in if you would like to add to it. So our skin is the largest organ that we have, right? We can all see it. It's there. It's the largest organ that we have, but it's not a passive surface. It's super active. It is a living ecosystem housing roughly 1 billion with a B microorganism per square centimeter of your body that it changes based on, like your body size. There is one fun fact that maybe is fun to me, but you might want to hear it too. When you look at human cell under microscope, we are mostly microbes. So per each one human cell, we have 10 microbial cells. So they outcompete our human cell 10 times, which is so cool. Sorry, I'm so passionate about this one. Look at this, is awesome. So now going back to our microbiome. This community, majority of them are bacteria, fungi, and viruses. That community together is our skin microbiome. You have the same community in your gut, and that's your gut microbiome. So my focus is gut too, but mostly skin. And another fun fact is that your microbiome is as individual as your fingerprint. There are no two people that they have the exact same microbiome landscape. In the general sense, they are the same, but the landscape is so unique to each of us, which, is so cool. And then the other part is that unlike your genome, which, doesn't change every day, your microbiome responds to your life. It changes with your hormones. It changes with your sleep. It changes with your environment, your products, and as you age. So 3 parts here that how our microbiome changes that you might actually be, interested to the audience is, first of all, the healthy microbiome is what we call a balanced microbiome. Your balance is different than my balance, okay? But when it's balanced, it's your defense mechanism. The good microbe on your skin produces like ceramide synthesizing enzyme that make your skin barrier strong, and it keeps your skin hydrated. When we go through menopause, perimenopause, that's the group that we lose. So that's why that our skin starts experience dryness. There is another group that they produce this fatty acid that it actually help our skin maintain this acidic condition, like around 5, which we need to have in order for pathogens don't grow on our skin. So what is pathogen? When we have acne, it's actually pathogen. And usually it happens when your skin pH is, go out of balance, which indirectly is also because your microbiome goes out of balance. Your microbiome also talks to your immune system, and it trains your immune system to recognize who's the good microbe, who's the bad microbe. It's fascinating how, these microbes work. And it changes. So pregnancy, the hormonal change. Pregnancy, by far in women's life, it's one of the most significant hormonal events. And estrogen and proestrogen, they go to the roof. And with that, we see a lot of change in microbiome, in human microbiome. And it's everywhere. That microbiome change actually happens in our gut, vaginal, oral, skin, everything. And a lot of it is also to make sure that we have a successful pregnancy and it goes to term. For our skin then, pH started to shift, and all of these hormone, when it's shifting, now your microbiome needs to rebalance to this hormonal shift. And because it happens really fast and is real time, that's why that pregnancy skin is really unpredictable. The same science that gives you glow, it also gives you the breakout. It's really complicated, and it's all because your skin, your microbiome in general tries to figure out and catch up with your hormonal change. You give birth. Now is postpartum. We call it microbiome cliff. I really love that term because everything starts to be confused again, because now your estrogen and your prostrogen, they deplete significantly. Your microbiome needs to readjust. But on top of that, you also have sleep deprivation, physical recovery, potentially breastfeeding, and stress. And like, for instance, research shows that a sleep deprivation increase our gut permeability, which it will increase inflammation, which it will show up on your skin as redness or dryness or more prone to eczema. So everything starts to bubble on surface. So that's, like after giving birth. The other big change is as we are aging. You mentioned 44. Yep. Biologically, 44 and 60 are the two ages that in general we age much faster. So you say that I aged overnight. You did biologically during these two times, actually. Our microbiome goes through aging as well. And the part that it's really important for us to actually know that there is one group of microbe that when we are younger, during teenage actually year, they cause acne. So we don't like them, but they are actually good microbe. They get extra, express, and then they cause this extra oil, which clog the pores, and then it causes acne, one of the gazillion reasons for acne. And then when we get older, we lose that population and they are not stable anymore. I think the biggest thing as we age is that our microbiome loses stability. It shifts from this highly stable site-specific community in our young adulthood to this diverse, non-stable situation. With doing all of that, it also causes collagen degradation. Like, it will cause collagen degrade faster. So it's not just that our microbiome age as we age, it also contributes to some of the acceleration that, like the collagen, which helps, like our skin, like the elasticity of our skin. So think of your skin microbiome as a garden, okay? In your 20s, the soil is fertile, the plants are established, pregnancy happens. Pregnancy is like a weather event. It's dramatic and it's transformative and not always predictable. Then postpartum happens, is a recovery season. But then aging happens. This is actually when your garden needs a lot more intentional care and make sure that your microbiome stays diverse and resilient, so we can continue having a gorgeous skin without using 10-step skincare routine as we age.
Thank you for that conversation. I think it was very helpful. One of the tricky things about motherhood is that we're often told, I've heard this from so many moms, that a lot of the changes are just hormones or you're just getting older. I don't know how many times I've heard moms say this is what they were told when they came to a provider with a concern. While many skin changes during pregnancy, postpartum, and even perimenopause are completely normal, there are times when something might need more attention or medical care. And it can be really hard as a consumer, as a patient, to know when something is going to resolve on its own or when it's worth talking to a professional. So, what are some skin changes that are normal during aging, motherhood, what have you? And what are signs that it might be time to go see a doctor or another professional to have this looked at?
I think the biggest thing is if you have a spot that is growing, changing color, getting darker, then that should be checked out. And you probably should see a dermatologist for that. I think a couple of other things, if you have acne that is worsening or you really can't get a handle on it, there are amazing over-the-counter products, but sometimes you need prescription medication for that. And a dermatologist or your primary care provider could be helpful for that. Rashes also. So, redness with bumps could be rosacea. You can manage it sometimes with over-the-counter treatment, but you might need medication for that. And then the hair loss, I mean, we haven't talked a lot about, but if the shedding after postpartum is very normal, but then if it continues to shed, then that could be a sign of something systemic as well. So I'd recommend getting that checked out. And then I think just anything that you're worried about. I mean, I think you hopefully have a primary care provider or someone that is able to either reassure you or get you extra help. And so I think I wouldn't wait too long for any of the things that you're kind of concerned about.
Yeah, I think also to emphasize building your team and knowing who to go to in lieu of Dr. Google. And I think it can start just as simply as talking to your pharmacist. If you have some skin rash and you're wondering which product among the 30 that are there on the shelf, go and have a consultation with the pharmacist there. And then, having a regular primary care provider that you see annually, that you've established care. And, even with a lot of skin things, those visits can be also done virtually. I would say starting around age 30, every person should add a dermatologist to their team as far as an annual visit, for prevention, just to go in and look in all the nooks and crannies and the back of your neck and your back where you can't, see those areas very well yourself. Like we mentioned, looking at mole changes, any rough patches where the texture of the skin has changed, those need to be evaluated for skin cancer.
Yeah, absolutely. Working with us as estheticians, we're not licensed MDs, so we can't diagnose anything, but we are constantly working with you and your skin. So when things are changing and looking a little different, again, I know I will point out to one of my clients, like, hey, I think you need to go take this to your dermatologist. If you don't have one, go see your primary care doctor. And as Abby mentioned, yeah, sometimes there are points when it comes to with acne where we reach kind of, as an esthetician, I've reached my point of where I can help. And now we do need to call in, the derm or your primary care to kind of give you a prescription. But one of the things is that doesn't mean you need to leave me as your esthetician, because together we're working to help support the skin, support the biome and that skincare barrier. Because sometimes, like with Retin-A, the dosage, as the higher it gets, it kind of begins to compromise the skin. And so together, if we're working together, I can kind of help guide you on how to best protect your barrier. Maybe you end up switching doses and it goes high. And then together we're like, okay, yeah, this is actually maybe doing a little more harm than good. We've been using this dosage now for about a month or so, and things are not kind of turning in the way we wanted. So maybe now when you go back to see your derm, have that conversation. Let's talk about what we've noticed. And then together, us as a full team can kind of work together to help support your skin.
And I'd say too, be your advocate. You've got to advocate for yourself. If you feel like you're being dismissed, and we all know this, our gut, our instinct is real. And keep pushing, keep going, because you'll get dismissed a lot.
Such a powerful conversation. Thank you so much to all of our expert providers. Be sure to check out the YouTube channel if you'd like to see the video and all these beautiful faces as we talk about these wonderful topics. And you can always check out herhealthcollective.com and our directory to find these providers and learn more about them and their practice.